All right, it's a beautiful Tuesday.
Yes,
and
it is.
We're going on our weekly errand run.
Tuesdays are our errand day. So, actually, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
We have to go to UPS.
Oh.
I have to make a return.
Okay.
And then today it's really exciting because I'm going to go pick up my breast pump machine. That's what it is. I've been on the wait list for a while, and apparently it has been hard to get on the island. And if I don't pick it up soon, they like release it back into the wild. So they've been calling me like twice a day about it.
Stupid automated messages.
But I'm so happy because it's like being covered by insurance.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit far from where we are, but still awesome.
Yeah. That's great. And it's funny because we used to love these errands, especially when we immediately came back from Korea, and we didn't have access to. Well, we had access to Costco, but it wasn't as crazy because it was insane there.
Insane.
Yeah. And just seeing products that we were familiar with and that we've been craving and wanting, that was fun. But now it's not so much. I actually don't look forward to these trips anymore. And frankly, I do them mostly because I know you like when we go and do these kinds of things together.
I love running errands together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't enjoy it much on my own either.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I don't know, this falls under quality time for me, and that's like my second love language. And I was thinking about where this is coming from, like why this means so much to me.
Yeah.
And I think it's because when I was really little, I would see my mom running all these errands because she didn't just go to one grocery store. She had to go to all these different ones, and she'd take us along.
Yeah.
And it was so painstaking. Like, I remember the one Korean supermarket she used to go to, it was huge, and it was freezing in there. So we'd sit in the carts, and she would like buy us snacks in the beginning to keep us busy while we're doing it. And then after that, like, we would sit in the car while she went to another one, and it was just like this really long, grueling process. And like, I hated it for her, and I hated going with her.
Yeah.
And then at some point, her and my dad started running errands together, and I just thought, wow, I would love to do that with my husband when I grow up. And I wish I remember how old I was then, but that really was cemented in my brain. And I just thought it was, it's like a shared burden, right? Where it's not that exciting for either of them, I'm sure, but to like go together, it felt like an activity. And I think that's why I enjoy it so much with you. And a lot of the conversations we have too in the car rides, because Costco is like about maybe like 30 minutes away, when we're like driving speed limit and all that. And yeah, it's just kind of become this routine where I look forward to getting out of the house with you in this way.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just really love it. Did you know that? All this?
I've heard the story about your parents doing all the stuff together, so I assumed that was what it was, but I forgot about the stories of you as a young kid. And I think I remember you saying that you were also tempted with pizza and stuff. Oh no, that was church.
McDonald's. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hated church growing up, but it was like, if we went to like 7 a.m. Bible study, we did the morning service, waited for my parents to finish like whatever Bible study group they were in. It was like an all-day ordeal.
Yeah.
The only light at the end of the tunnel was that we would get McDonald's. And that was the only reason I looked forward to Sundays. Yeah. I hated church.
So I guess I was a little confused,
but yeah, it's along the same lines. Now the grocery shopping thing, my favorite thing that my mom would buy, because we would go to the Korean supermarket, and one of the first aisles we would hit, it's like all the Korean snacks, and I would always get korebap.
Oh.
And I loved opening that little box and the little plastic thing inside. They're like little crackers, but they're shaped like sea animals. And kore means kore is whale.
Yeah.
Korebap is like whale food. They're like these little sea critters. And then you open the box, and inside there's like a little plastic bag of them. So I would open up the plastic bag and dump it into the box, and I would open the box and hold the box. And it was like this whole experience of eating the snack, and I would eat one by one. And that lasted a good, 10 minutes into the torture of freaking cold supermarket shopping.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is we do that to make these trips a little bit better too. Usually I get a Starbucks just as an easy way of giving myself a treat. What do? You do something? Maybe a hot
For
dog.
me, what's funny, it's not always a hot dog. I do love the Costco hot dog though. I just love hot dogs in general. But it's funny because whenever we go into town, that's where we do our errands. It's always like, ooh, what can I get here that we can't get in our neighborhood? So my mind always starts racking for, things like we can't eat near home. And it really depends. But Costco hot dog is definitely up there. Today, I think it's going to be an acai bowl.
It's going to be special.
Yeah, because we have like a coupon that Brandon got from being a volunteer at his Big Brother, Big Sister organization.
Yeah.
Now, we are at UPS and I'm going to hop in to make a return for maternity clothes that didn't work out for me. What's so annoying about this is the whole face recognition.
Quick and easy.
I'm so thirsty, but I don't want to drink water because I have to pee. I have to pee like every 2 minutes. And I'm entering my 3rd trimester this week, which is crazy to think this is the final stretch. Man.
I really was looking forward to filming this on the way while we're doing all this for a couple of reasons. One, because we have a new car set up. Mostly because what we wanted to talk about today was all the personality tests that we've done
over the years.
That has helped us. What have we taken so far?
I feel like the introductory one, the gateway personality drug for most of us, is the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs, right?
Yeah.
So I took that like way before even meeting you.
Oh yeah, I've taken
in my college, right? Yeah. And then I think you introduced me to the StrengthsFinders.
Yes.
You took one that I haven't taken.
Yeah, the disc.
The Big Five.
Big Five.
Love languages. The 5 love languages, and then most recently the Enneagram.
Of the 5 or 6 that we've done, what would be your top 3? I'm guessing it's the same for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, for sure the Enneagram, love languages, and probably Big Five, yeah?
Yeah. For me, that would be the top 3 as well. I don't know how I'd rank order them.
Yeah.
Probably love languages as 3rd. I like it because it's simple. I haven't even read the book, but I've gotten a lot of value from the ideas. But I think as far as more nuance and the things that I've learned to the depths at which I learned them, I think Big Five and Enneagram would be my top 2. So let's just get into a little bit of detail on how these tests helped us.
I mean, the first thing being the most simple one, with the love languages, I think it was really cool when I learned that, you know, a person can be displaying love in one way and the recipient, it wouldn't even come across to them because they, it's not their love language. And so it's not that the other person's not being loving, it's just not in the same frequency as how the person would receive it. And that was like kind of really eye-opening for me when I first heard about it. And I think it was at like a women's retreat that this was introduced to me.
Yeah, and I think case in point, these errands, I wouldn't normally think that would be a loving gesture. For me, I would consider maybe working a little bit harder to make sure that our future is secure. That would be a much better, much better way to spend our time. While one of us just goes and gets this done because it has to get done. That would be what I think would be a more loving gesture. But the fact that you consider these strangely one of your top ways of feeling loved, it does simplify things for me. But
oh, that's great.
Yeah, we both actually thought we would be different than what we scored on the assessment, and we agreed with the results. Because for me, I thought physical touch would be number 1. I like being touched. I like hugs, and those were fantastic for me. But for you, we thought it'd be quality time because this is quality time and you love it. But actually, what you ended up scoring the highest in was
acts of service.
Yeah.
I love me some thoughtful gestures and.
So tell me how when you saw that, like what you thought and how you came around to realizing that that was the right answer for you.
You know, it made sense to me because, like, even gifts, right? Gifts is one of the love languages. And I don't want to say that I dislike gifts. I love gifts, but I think more than just the actual item of it, it's the thought and the time and the energies that someone would put into going out to get this thing to show me that they cared about me.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
So that makes so much more sense to me in terms of like, oh, why didn't I score higher on gifts? Because I think gifts, I scored very, very low. But every time like someone writes me a thoughtful letter or like sends me a nice little package, it like moves me to like I can't even express with words.
One of the things that I'm seeing from my point of view is, as a type 2, and we're gonna mix here because it is all kind of related, but you know, you're the helper or the giver,
right?
And I think because that's how you grew up, and as far as your temperament goes, I think you generally tend to read the room and see who's needing what, and you go and try to fill that need. And a lot of the times the easy ones are like if you're hungry or you're thirsty, or if you, I don't know, whatever, fill in the blanks.
Wow, you really distill that well. Yeah. Because it's like if I'm the one that's like hosting something and I'm making sure that everyone has a seat, like the person that's like, Jen, what about you? Like, you come and sit. Like, that's because it's natural for me to take care of other people. When someone turns that attention to me, I do feel very cared for.
Yeah, because it's how you're showing the love, and I think because you're such a giver, and as we've learned in your Enneagram, you sacrifice your own needs to meet the needs of others. So if somebody takes the initiative to do that for you, it takes care of a need, a real deep need that you don't take care of yourself a lot of the times.
Yeah, and I think the Enneagram, what helped me know is that there was a part of me that I wasn't aware of that was secretly hoping that someone that really cares about me would do that for me without my asking. Like, I wanted someone to read my mind, and it wasn't a conscious thing. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I do have this motivation there where I'm like, maybe someone will notice that I want to be included too, you know? God, that feels so vulnerable to admit. Because I only came to this realization pretty recently.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It was huge.
What about you?
My understanding of you was similar for me. Mine actually ended up being words of affirmation, which I didn't know was it. And it's it's kind of the same in that as a type 1 or reformer or perfectionist, whichever way you want to call it, I am very critical to myself. I'm constantly comparing myself to the ideal and don't feel worthy or deserving of love until I hit that impossible standard that I create for myself. So in some ways, I'm way more sensitive to affirmation or critical feedback in both ways, because I'm already crushing myself. If somebody throws another little piece on there, then it demolishes me. But if somebody affirms me for, hey, this is actually, you're good at this, and they're specific about it, it's like water to my
soul.
Water to my soul. I love these assessments because at some level it's a shortcut to helping us to get to know not just ourselves, but to know what our spouses need.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's enough talking for today. We've rambled on quite a bit.
I got a pee so bad too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Catch that chicken, baby. Catch it.
Not this one. This one's too skinny. it up, love. Hold it up. Delicious.
Yeah, it's too bad I can't eat that.
Yeah. Okay. And then I got